Patient is suffering with diabetes mellitus. That's the reason the glucose is now biochemical changes in carbohydrate metabolism, in the sense due to the deficiency of insulin hormone. What's happening? The glucose is not transported to the tissues. Hence, the glucose levels are rising in the blood. But cells are not receiving glucose, no? So cells are now starting to utilize fatty acids. So when fatty acids are utilized by the cells or tissues, it leads to the production of ketone bodies. It leads to ketogenesis. Okay, formation of ketone bodies. What are ketone bodies? Acetone, acetoacetic acid, beta hydroxybutyric acid. So these levels will increase in blood, leading to ketonemia, ketonuria. Together it is called as diabetic ketoacidosis. Isn't it, Ritika?
Ma'am.
We discussed it many times. I hope you can review that cycle, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh. The next question is like formation, transport, and metabolic fate of ammonia in the body. And what is ammonia toxicity? Now, can you tell me what is this question asking us about? Please tell me, even if you are wrong. Ammonia fate. Formation, transport, fate of ammonia and ammonia toxicity, Ritika.
Uh,
Though you are wrong, please tell, beta. It will be
is it urea cycle, ma'am?
100% correct, beta. You have little hesitation, but your answers are always correct. That's the reason I give you time. It is urea cycle. So formation of ammonium, in the sense, what are the cycles we have for the formation of NH3 ammonia? Think
Uh,
will be right. He says first step is formation of ammonia. No? So how is the ammonia formed? What are the two mechanisms we have? Transamination and deamination. Okay, beta? You should start your answer with transamination. That is transfer of amino group. Okay, Ritika. Somehow this.
and ma'am, in the previous answer,
Sorry, beta.
just writing about ketone word is enough, ma'am.
Yeah. In the first answer, you talk about diabetes mellitus because that is deranged carbohydrate metabolism. Okay. In the second part of answer, you talk about ketone bodies, formation of ketone bodies, and then about ketoacidosis. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Huh. In this answer, formation of ammonia, he says. So, formation of ammonia, you should start with transamination. Okay, the transfer of amino group from one amino acid to keto acid. Okay, so keto acid. So from there you will see. Then we have deamination. What do you mean by deamination? That amino group is removed. Okay, it is the structure of L-glutamate through series of steps. Finally, what is coming out? NH3, ammonium. So now he says, what is the fate of this ammonia? He says, as you said, it is urea cycle. Because the first step in urea cycle is this one, ammonium combining with carbon dioxide. Okay, so this cycle. Now he's asking you toxicity. For toxicity, what should we write? This one, beta. Which particular enzyme is missing and what type of defect it is giving rise to? Like carbamyl phosphate synthase 1 deficiency leads to hyperammoniemia type 1, and so on. Okay, beta, this also I have discussed many times, Ritika. Isn't it, beta?
Huh.
Huh.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is the next question we have? I'll check your WhatsApp image. Isoenzymes. What are isoenzymes, Ritika? See, isoenzymes are physically they are different. Like LDH1,
Oh,
LDH2, LDH3, LDH4, LDH5. To look at their face, they look different, but they catalyze the same chemical reaction. Isn't it, beta?
yes, ma'am.
Huh. So I gave you example of lactate dehydrogenase and also CPK1, CPK2, that creatine phosphokinase. And what are the diseases in which you will see their levels will be raised? Isn't it? We discussed this also many times. Isoenzymes. Okay. Do you remember, beta? Isoenzymes?
Little bit, ma'am.
Want me to show once?
Ha, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. This one, beta. See, physically, to look at them, they will be different. But the reaction, what they are catalyzing is same. Okay? That is the meaning of isoenzymes. Okay? So see here. These are isoenzymes. Multiple forms of enzymes catalyzing the same reaction. Okay, multiple forms means to look at their phase, they are different. LDH 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I asked you to be thorough with this table. Okay, LDH1, it is H4. That means it has something like 4 boxes. Where is it present abundantly? Heart and RBC. Electrophoretic mobility, it is fastest. It is destroyed by heat? No. How much percentage is it is there in the serum? 25%. Like that, we have LDH 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So that is for
Okay.
lactate dehydrogenase, one example. I told you this is the normal electrophoretic picture of these enzymes. And this is the normal graph. And see here, B is indicating LDH1 level and LDH2 levels are increased. This is the normal graph. Okay, these black lines are indicating 1 to increased. In which disease? See here, myocardial infarction, heart attack. Okay, and C, LDH5 levels are increased. In which disease? Liver disease. Okay, like that, we also have CPK1, this one beta. Creatine phosphokinase 1, 2, 3. Okay, their subunits are BB, MB, MM, where they are present and in which diseases they are raised. Again, these are the two examples which you can discuss in the exam. Okay, beta? Then, folate,
Okay, ma'am.
BMR, polyunsaturated functions of glutathione. Okay. Okay, folate trap. Where does it come, beta? Folate trap in which answer? This also actually we discussed, but I don't know if you remember. Folic acid, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, okay, we will go to that answer because it is little, it's really not so, it is little tricky type of answer that is. Folate trap, 156 page. Yes, but here we are. Mm, here we have, see here. So this comes under which vitamin? Folic acid. We know folic acid is very important for one carbon metabolism. I'm just taking you to heading B12. Okay, vitamin B12. Okay, so functions. No, here you have. See, folate trap or methyl trap is here. So in vitamin B12 deficiency, increased folate levels are observed in plasma. Both B12 and folic acids are concerned with growth and maturation of RBC, isn't it, Ritika?
Yes, ma'am.
If you remember, deficiency of these vitamins will lead to pernicious anemia, megaloblastic anemia. Size of RBC will be big and they will be thrown into blood circulation. Okay. Now, if B12 is not there, then folate is trying to compensate the loss of B12. That's the reason folate levels are increased in plasma. The activity of this enzyme homocysteine methyltransferase is low in B12 deficiency. Okay, these are the points which we should understand in this answer. As a result, the only major pathway for conversion of N5-methyl tetrahydrofolate to tetrahydrofolate is blocked, and this tetrahydrofolate pool is reduced. That means tetrahydrofolate is one thing, Ritika. Tetrahydrofolate levels are reduced in the blood. Okay, that is actually tetrahydrofolate is important for one carbon metabolism. Because B12 is not there, THF is also not there. Okay, so essentially almost entire body folate becomes trapped as N5 methyl tetrahydrofolate. That means because B12 is not available, so this tetrahydrofolate is going and competing and combining with folate. Suppose if your best friend is Hema, if Hema is not there, now you are going with Chavi, something like that, beta. Okay. So B12 deficiency, what is happening? B12 is not there, and tetrahydrofolate basically it has to go for one carbon transfer. So because B12 is not there, THF is now going and combining with folate. Okay, so whatever folate is there, it is going and combining with this tetrahydrofolate. That's what is, you will see entire body folate becomes trapped as N5 methyl tetrahydrofolate. This is what is called as folate trap, also called as methyl trap. Okay. So now B12 is deficient, and though folate levels were increased in blood, that tetrahydrofolate is going and binding with folate. So folate is also not available. So in this manner, B12 deficiency results in decreased folate coenzymes that leads to reduced nucleotide and DNA synthesis. Finally, RBC synthesis is affected. RBC synthesis will not occur properly. Okay, this paragraph you should understand and write. Okay, read once if you are not understanding. Also, you read twice or thrice, you will understand. Okay, Ritika.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Huh. What is BMR, beta? Tell me the full form.
Basal metabolic rate.
Basal metabolic rate. That means the minimum amount of energy which is required to maintain our life, sustain life, like minimum amount of energy which is required to maintain heartbeat, respiratory rate, muscle contraction, okay, peristalsis of the GIT, partial tone of the muscle, everything. Our body is not at rest, right? So the minimum amount of energy which is expended for those cellular activities is nothing but basal metabolic rate. So it will be low during sleep, it will be high during the time when we are actively working. Okay, in obese people it will be more, in thin people it will be less. So like that, few factors are given. You can easily read that. Or you want me to tell once, but again, with the help of, this is quite easy. I hope you can do.
Ma'am, once show the answer, ma'am.
Acha, you want me to show? Okay, I will show. BMR. Mm, nutrition chapter 502. You should read the paper immediately next day, beta. Then only you will remember. I told you, I think around 10 times till now. Still, you're not remembering in the sense you're not revising, no? It happens. See, beta, this answer BMR. Okay. Minimum amount of energy required by the body to maintain life at complete physical and mental rest. Okay. So he is asking factors. If surface area is more, BMR is more. In males, it is more. In females, it is less because body mass is more in males comparatively with females. Infants and growing children with lean muscle mass, BMR is higher. In adults, BMR decreases. Physical activity is more, BMR is more. Thyroid hormones directly proportional. In hyperthyroidism, it will be more. In hypothyroidism, it will be less. Okay, cold climates. BMR is nothing but production of heat beta. So it is more in cold climates. During starvation, it will be actually less to conserve energy. During fever, it will increase. Okay, like that you just read. Okay, beta?
Okay, ma'am.
Tell me what are the advantages and disadvantages of taking polyunsaturated fatty acids. First, name them. Polyunsaturated fatty acids, PUFA.
Mm,
Linoleic acid, isn't it? Linolenic acid, arachidonic.
Linoleic.
So polyunsaturated fatty acids are basically fatty acids which have more than one double bond. Basically, carbon will have all single bonds, then you call them as saturated. Actually, polyunsaturated fatty acids, they are considered as good cholesterol. Why they are called as good cholesterol? Because they don't get deposited in the blood vessels. They don't cause atherosclerosis. They don't cause heart diseases, thrombosis and embolism. Okay? So like that. So sunflower oil, safflower oil, what we take, no? They are rich in polyunsaturated fatty acids. Okay? So those are the advantages. So, but disadvantages we should check. 31, 509 we will see. You check in your book also, beta.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what are the disadvantages. Essential fatty acids, PUFA, are predominantly present rich. Whatever I told you, only these points are here, beta. In book, actually, we don't have. Okay, you also keep checking.
Okay, ma'am.
PUFA. Okay. Polyunsaturated, I just checked in the internet, beta. What he says is they are highly unstable. So all fats have the temperature with which they oxidize. They are unstable. They go rancid. That means easily they get spoiled. That is the drawback of polyunsaturated fatty acids. Okay.
Oh,
Such thing anyhow it's not given in our textbook. All advantages only are given here. Okay.
okay, okay.
Hmm. Okay, beta. Then what is the next question? Okay. Functions of glutathione. What is glutathione? Structure and functions of glutathione. Just tell me where, in which chapter it comes. Glutathione, biologically active peptides.
Got it.
Huh? Yeah, in this chapter.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by biologically active peptides? If the amino acid count is less than 10 beta in a polypeptide chain, then you call them as biologically active peptides. Under that, we have many examples. Are you understanding? It's not protein, it
Yes,
is
ma'am.
a polypeptide chain where amino acids are less than 10 in number. Okay. So under this, you
Okay.
have an example, glutathione. Here you see biologically active or important peptides. See where the number of amino acids are less than 10. So glutathione is one example. So what is it made up of? Just three peptides bonds. That means three amino acids. So it is made up of glutamyl, cysteine, glycine. That means glutamic acid, cysteine and glycine. So functions is uh, it helps in oxidation reduction reactions like NADP, NADPH beta. It is acting as a coenzyme for certain enzymes like prostaglandin, prostacyclin, synthetase. It prevents oxidation. Again, the same thing he told, like oxidation reduction reactions. Then many are given. It is believed, so it is in association. participates in formation of disulfide bonds. This is one more point. Okay, it helps in formation of disulfide bonds. Then in RBC, it helps in the membrane structural integrity. RBC cell membrane is not ruptured because of glutathione. It protects hemoglobin from getting oxidized by certain agents like hydrogen peroxide. It helps in transport of amino acid also, okay, in the intestines and kidney. It helps in detoxification. In detoxification chapter also we get glutathione. So free radicals, that means H2O2, O2 minus, all those free radicals are scavenged. That means they are removed by the activity of glutathione. Okay. So these are the important functions. What is dietary fiber? It is nothing but cellulose which is not digested in our human GIT, the roughage what we take in our diet. Though it is not
Roughage, yeah.
digested, though it is not absorbed, but it adds bulk to the food what we eat. Isn't it? It prevents constipation, it prevents colon cancer, it helps in easy defecation of bowel. Okay. Then two main causes of fatty liver, alcoholism, isn't it? And also in case of diabetes mellitus also we will see fatty liver. In case of liver disorders also we will see, and high fat intake also will lead to fatty liver. What are the sources
Okay,
of
ma'am.
sucrose and lactose? First chapter it will be given better. Sucrose, lactose, you can check. Sucrose, I think cane sugar, no? Lactose is milk sugar, isn't it?
Huh.
Hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Vitamin K, what is the chief function? Helps in clotting, blood clotting, isn't it?
Blood clotting, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Phospholipids, any four functions he is asking, beta. Can you name phospholipids, beta? Sphingomyelins, hmm, phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidyllecithin. Okay. Lipids in combination with
Oh,
phosphatidic acids. Those are called as phospholipids. Okay. Hmm. I'm checking unsaturated fatty acids here also. Disadvantages are not given. So phospholipids, any four functions, very easy, better. See, these are phospholipids, lipids containing phosphoric acids. So what are the examples? See here, phosphatidic acid, lecithin, cephalin, phosphatidyl N-acetol, phosphatidyl serine, plasmalogen. These are the examples. Now, any four functions he is asking us now. So what will you write? There is a list of functions here. It is helping in the formation of the components of cell membrane. Cell membrane is made up of proteins and lipids, no? The lipid component is phospholipid, which helps in maintaining of membrane permeability. Okay. So phospholipids in the mitochondria are responsible for the maintenance of electron transport chain components. That means phospholipids are helping in cellular respiration. Okay, that means electron transport chain reactions. They help in absorption of fat, they help in transport of lipids. They will not allow the bad fat to accumulate in the body. That means those are protective thing is lipotropic factor. Okay, they help in the synthesis of prostaglandins, prostacyclins, thromboxanes, and all. Together, they are called as eicosanoids. Okay, you remember surfactant, phosphatidylcholine, that is. It helps in maintenance of the alveolar, like opening. It keeps the alveoli open and it prevents the collapse of the lung. Okay, that is also one of the phospholipid. Like that, you have many functions. Cephalins, it is important in the blood clotting mechanism. Okay, so like that, you have many functions. Okay, Ritika.
okay, ma'am.
Okay, but so, but I feel like you should